Hi, this is Aleksander Vitkin. What I'm going to do for you today is teach you how to get your first client on Upwork. Now, Upwork is the world's #1 freelance platform, and it's a 3 or 4 or 5, it's multi-billion-dollar company, depending on when you watch this video in the future. And as it's growing, the marketplace is growing. It's a new way of doing business and getting clients online. And for me, it's an absolutely perfect way to get people with absolutely no business skills to get results online. It's a perfect place to start your freelancing career that can turn into a real business, a business where you employ people, where you don't deliver the work yourself. So if you're interested in building your Upwork career, if you're interested in getting clients on Upwork, here are some steps you can take to get your first client. So a lot of people say that it's very hard to get on Upwork and to get your first client. I tend to disagree. So I run an online school for business, and a lot of my students, they start their business or freelancing on Upwork. And in the beginning, they struggle because they don't know the basic principles. They don't know how Upwork is or how to treat Upwork, how to get the algorithm to work for you to get your account ranked higher and to get people to actually message you and reply to you and hire you within the first few weeks of you being there. Because if you look at other videos on YouTube, they say you need 3 months. So 3 months to get your first clients on Upwork. It's not true. You don't need 3 months to get your first client on Upwork. You don't need to become a slave to someone and do anything they say and get jobs on Upwork to become successful on Upwork. Upwork is not a platform to get jobs. I know it says work, and I know a lot of people are there to look for work and for jobs and whatever. But what I'm going to teach you today, the main thing is you're not there to beg for some interviews. You're not there to eventually get a review or something like that. So the most important thing that you do need to do is you need to make sure that you get your first review, between 1 and 5 reviews. 5 is preferred. The closer you can get to this number, the faster, the better, okay? So if you have clients, if any type of clients, anyone you can get from outside of Upwork to give you reviews on Upwork, just bring them to Upwork and have them give you reviews for whatever it is you're doing for them, okay? That's the #1 strategy. Get those clients on Upwork. Upwork wins from this because you're bringing them new clients, and you win from this because your account is going to get ranked higher, much higher, okay? You need to, of course, be choosing the right thing to sell on Upwork. So if you go into the categories, you can browse the categories and you can choose what you're good at, and you can choose what's in demand. Make sure there's a lot of job posts in the category that you choose with at least 20 people you can message on a daily basis and send proposals to. So the proposals that you're sending, they have one single purpose, okay? The proposals are there to get people on calls. So get people to sales calls. They're not interviews, you're not getting a job, you're there to get sales. And you're there to grow a business. You're there to consult your future clients on how to buy from you and to give them value so they understand that you're an expert. You're not there to beg and whatever for jobs. Make sure also that when you're applying to the gigs that are posted on Upwork and the opportunities, that there's not too many people applying. If there's 40 or 50 people applying, then maybe it's not a great idea for you to be in that category, for you to apply to that job or whatever you want to call it. So it's better to wait to find categories where it's not overpopulated. The category that's the best right now is development. So if you're any type of developer, this is perfect for you. If you're any type of marketer, this is perfect for you. There's a lot of opportunities on Upwork with people paying tens of thousands of dollars to freelancers and to business owners. So it's your opportunity to leverage their lead generation. Like Upwork is a platform, they generate leads and they basically sell them off for a percentage of the sale, right? This is your opportunity to get in on this. It's like the eBay or the Amazon of services. And it's really important that business owners are on there until they get to a certain revenue number. If you're doing 40K and most of that is no longer Upwork, maybe it's time to move off Upwork. But to be honest, once you are doing a lot of money in Upwork, it's totally worth it to just leave your account there ranked high and process a payment or so per month on Upwork to get your account on top of the list all the time. So just keep it ranking higher and you get a bunch of leads every week coming in basically for free. So you can do all these things. But first, let's keep talking about how to get your first sale, all right? So the next part is you need to write your profile as a sales letter, okay? So the sales letter profile, let me just give you a basic structure here. You can look at many profiles that are written like sales letters. The process is get them on a sales call, okay? That's the outcome of the sales letter. You're selling the phone call. So people, they write about themselves as if it's like some kind of resume or something like that. Forget all that. First, you write about the client. You're like, here's what you're probably looking for, and here's potentially what you've been struggling with, and here's potentially how you can improve that. Is this correct? If so, keep reading. Here's a bunch of proof, second part, here's a bunch of proof about who I am and why I'm qualified to talk about this, okay? Like here's why me and my team are qualified to talk about this, but write about yourself, of course. So the third part, here's all the stuff that we could be doing. Here's the types of projects we could be running. And of course, make sure you're in a single category. You're doing a single service, not just anything for anyone. You're not a freelancer, hopefully. You don't want to be a freelancer forever, at least. So you want to choose a very well-defined service based on what's currently in demand and where people are actually actively looking to hire people, like where dozens of people are looking to hire people, like in web development, for example. Make sure you have a well-defined service within that, not just any type of web development for anyone. And then you make sure that you have a call to action, okay? The call to action is, of course, let's get on a call, but you can't post links or anything like that. So make sure, hit me up in the inbox, like click the hire button and send me a message so that we can communicate and we can figure out what's best for you. This is not to get people off Upwork or anything like that. Like don't break their terms of service or anything like that. You can do calls on Upwork, you can schedule meetings and everything, and then you can show up and guide them through the process of buying. Like people don't understand this. They think they're on some kind of job interview, and in reality, the client, they don't really know what they're doing. Like the client, they're just, I need this website or I need this marketing stuff done. They don't really know what that is or how it will get done. You're there to consult them on that. You're the expert. You're the doctor they go to. And if you don't behave like the doctor, if you don't behave like the trusted consultant, they will go to someone else. So you don't have to be a world-class expert for this, by the way. Just knowing more than your client and choosing clients that you can actually help, that's enough already. So if you spend a couple of weeks learning something relatively easy like social media management, you can become an expert and you're going to be more qualified than the most people on Upwork looking for experts. So you're an expert to them. You're slightly above them. Maybe you won't charge $100 an hour, but you can certainly charge good money, which brings me to the next point. A lot of people say Upwork is for low ticket sales. It's like for small sales and you just start with $5. Forget all that, okay? Forget the $5 or $50 or $500. Forget all that stuff. Don't even try that stuff. Once you start doing low ticket, when you start trying to charge people $500, something like that, you're just gonna get the cheapest, kind of lousiest people to work with. You wanna be choosing people to work with based on their credentials. You're not there to be interviewed, you're there to interview as the service provider. Believe me or not, that really is the case. If you know, I have students doing tens of thousands of dollars in Upwork, they're choosing the clients and they've been in business for not very long. They don't have that much experience. How did they do this? They created an awesome profile. They have an awesome service, but also they don't charge $500. They don't charge less than $1,000. So a complete beginner should be charging $1,000. If you're not charging $1,000, you're gonna get cheap people usually. Now this is of course a very arbitrary number. Like if you build a massive website in Magento or something like that, obviously it's gonna be more than that. But whatever you do, never charge for anything under $1,000 on Upwork. And as a general rule, this works, but it kind of depends on the service that you're selling. So we can't have a full list here, so I'm just telling you, just stick to this rule as a general rule. Whatever you're doing, don't sign contracts, don't agree to do stuff unless it's going to end up being $1,000. And it's going to change your life. It's going to force you to learn sales properly. It's going to force you to build a real business and to take freelancing seriously. Whereas most people, they're just going to complain how hard it is to get your first client and how hard it is to deal with people that are reasonable in Upwork and so on and so forth. Well, they're just not doing the right thing. They don't have the right attitude. They're not approaching it as a funnel. They're approaching it as some kind of platform for jobs. And if you approach it as a platform for jobs, this is the fourth time I'm saying this in this video probably, then you're going to get burned because people looking for jobs are going to get jobs. and jobs are not great. I'm sure you've noticed that. So you may be wondering, what if I don't have clients to take from outside of Upwork and bring them to Upwork and introduce value to the platform and get reviews in exchange? Well, that's perfectly fine. You can go into Facebook groups for the type of service you're looking to do and offer something relatively cheaply. And then you can tell them, I'm doing this cheap, but in exchange, I would like you to hire me on Upwork, and then everything goes through there. And once the service is delivered, you go to Upwork and you do it like that, and you get to review on Upwork. Perfectly fine. Upwork wins to get a new client. You win, you get your payment on Upwork, and you get your review on Upwork. Sure, you lose some percentage of the sale to Upwork fees, but that's perfectly fine. It's not a big deal at all. You're building a long-term asset here. You're building a funnel that's going to generate you leads forever, essentially. So it's okay to pay that small percentage to Upwork. Upwork deserves to get paid. And the more you pay Upwork, the more they're going to rank you higher, and the more they're going to treat you better and send you better clients. It really is an amazing platform, and you can build a multi-six-figure business on Upwork if you play things right. So the next thing is you need to take lots of tests. So you get on Upwork and you do all the tests that you can find there, well, not all of them, do like 5 of them. And you can research a little bit of how to answer them properly. You can make sure that you have good test results and have that on there. It's just part of your credibility. You need 5 types of proof on your profile: reviews, tests, maybe some written testimonials just in your profile itself, stuff like that, and then proof of work you've delivered, and maybe one more type of proof that you're legit. And then you're gonna see that it's actually not that hard to close people, and people are gonna even come to you, and they're gonna look at your profile and message you instead of you having to spend money messaging them. So I highly recommend that you take it seriously. I highly recommend that you treat it as if you're building a real business, not just, I'm here because I want to get my first job. Because that is the title of the video. It is how to get your first client on Upwork. But let's be real here. If you are on Upwork, you're looking to freelance and you're looking to build a business most likely. So anything in life where you haven't taken it seriously, how did that turn out? So it's time to take this seriously. It's time to get on there and to get the platform to be an asset for you and your business forever, and to build a real business. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. You can watch some of my other videos if you're interested in business, if you're interested in entrepreneurship. And if you'd like more free videos about these topics, then I'd love for you to subscribe and do comment below if you have any questions. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video.